Hello everyone. Today I'm going to teach you about the Technology Integration Planning Process/Practice, or the TIPP model, which is a systematic approach for integrating technology into your classroom. I'll demonstrate how I use this model to plan a Blooket integration for teaching shapes to my kindergarten students. The TIPP model has three main phases that guide teachers through purposeful technology integration. Phase 1 is analysis, where we identify problems and assess resources. Phase 2 is design, where we plan our integration strategy. And Phase 3 is post-instruction analysis, where we reflect and improve. The key is that this prevents us from using technology just for the sake of technology. Instead, we solve real problems. I teach kindergarten, and my students were learning to identify shapes like circles, squares, triangles, and rectangles. I needed a way to make review time more engaging and to gather better data on student understanding. That's where Blooket came in. In Phase 1, Step 1, I identified my problems of practice. First, my students struggled to remember shape names, especially when shapes were rotated. They called a tilted square a diamond. Second, traditional flashcards and worksheets didn't hold their attention after about 5 minutes. Third, I couldn't quickly see which shapes all 23 students understood. When I asked them to hold up shapes, some students just copied their neighbor. And fourth, I had students at very different levels. Some knew hexagons while others were still learning circles. As Robillard and Hughes say, identifying problems that technology might address is the first step toward purposeful integration. In steps 2 and 3, I assessed my resources and explored options. My school has Chromebooks, reliable Wi-Fi, and Novatech boards. I looked at Kahoot, but it requires students to read on their devices, which my kindergartners can't do yet. Quizlet wasn't engaging enough. I chose Blooket because questions appear on the main Novatech so non-readers can play. It has colorful game modes like Racing and Gold Quest that appeal to 5-year-olds, and it gives me instant data on which shapes students are confusing. This offered clear advantages over traditional methods. In Phase 2, I designed my integration framework. My objective was that students would identify two-dimensional shapes regardless of orientation, aligned with our Texas kindergarten math standards. My strategy was to use Blooket 2 to 3 times per week for 10 to 15 minutes. I start with the pre-assessment, use quick games after lessons to check for understanding, and end with a comprehensive review before the test. The relative advantage over worksheets was immediate feedback. Compared to whole group questioning, every student participates and I get data on all of them, not just those who raised their hands. Step 6 is all about preparation, and this is critical for kindergarten. I made sure I had enough Chromebooks and that they were charged. Tested my game and ensured it worked, and created visual instructions with pictures since my students can't read yet. Most importantly, I taught students how to use Blooket first with the practice game about colors and animals. This let them learn the mechanics without academic pressure. As Robillard and Hughes emphasized, explicit instruction in how to use technology tools is essential, particularly for young learners. I also set clear expectations that we're learning, not just playing, and that mistakes are okay. After implementation, I moved to Phase 3, where I analyzed results. The successes were amazing. Engagement was nearly 100%, even for students who usually can't focus. The data revealed students were confusing rectangles and squares, which helped me reteach. And test scores averaged 85% higher than previous years. But there were real challenges. Logging in took 15 minutes instead of 5. And some students got upset about the leaderboard that one even cried. The 30-second timer was too fast for some learners, and some students focused on racing their game character instead of thinking about the shapes. These challenges are normal and expected, not failures. Based on the results, I made evidence-based revisions in Step 8. I preload Blooket on the Chromebooks to save time. I used the team mode so groups work together instead of competing individually. I increased the timer to 45 seconds. I chose simpler game modes with fewer distractions, and I added more hands-on practice with rotated shapes. In Step 9, I shared my experience at our team meeting, invited colleagues to observe, and created a shared folder with my questions, sets, and tips. And Robillard Hughes states, sharing both successes and challenges helps advance understanding of effective technology integration. This sharing helps everyone improve and prevents others from making the same mistakes. So why use the TIPP model? First, it's systematic and ensures using technology to solve real classroom problems, not just using it because it's trendy. You start with problems, not tools. Second, it's reflective. The model builds in analysis and revision so you continuously improve. Technology integration is a one-time event, but an ongoing process. And third, it's collaborative. The model encourages sharing so your whole school community benefits. As Robert and Hughes conclude, systematic planning using models like TIPP leads to more purposeful and effective technology integration. So here are my key takeaways, specifically for kindergarten teachers. First, I always start by identifying problems of practice before choosing a tool. Don't use technology just because it's fun. Second, preparation is critical with young learners. You need explicit instruction, visual supports, and practice before students can use technology independently. And third, reflect and revise based on evidence. When challenges come up, see them as opportunities to improve, not as failures. This continuous improvement mindset is what makes technology integration effective. I hope this helped you understand the TIPP model and how it can guide your technology integration in kindergarten. Whether you're using Blooket or another tool, this framework will help you be more purposeful and effective. Thank you for watching and happy teaching.